Hello everyone. Welcome back to the one more session with Gems and Dreams. So, you're curious about the career in UI and UX designing, but uncertain about what the future of UI and UX really holds. So, let's dive deep into the topic with Manasa Rao. Hello Mansa and welcome to Gems and Dreams. So, please introduce yourself to our viewers.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me, ma'am. So I am Manasa Rao. I did my bachelor's in computer engineering from Dattamege College of Engineering, and currently I'm working as a product designer at a startup called Dukaan in Bangalore.
So, Mansa, generally this UI and UX term, it referred together. But what is the difference between UI designing and UX designing?
Okay. So firstly, I just want to tell that currently UI UX design is also. So whatever roles we have in companies, so we are referred to as product designer or UX designer or UI designer. So basically the jobs are same. It's just the different roles that we have. But UI UX is a collective term. They are related to each other. To put simply, UI is a byproduct of UX.
Okay.
So the first 50% that you do as a UI UX designer is think about the flows that you're designing for a product, think about the screens that you want, problem solving, and all the critical thinking that goes behind taking the decisions of how to design a product. And then in the UI part, we finally design those screens using the software.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in UI, we design the screens. That is the front end, correct? So
Yeah.
how the graphics designing is different than the UI designing then?
It's not different. I would say that graphic designing is a small part of UI design. So, so basically, product designing is nothing but designing the whole product.
Yeah.
Either you build it from scratch, or you're working in a company that has its own product which is already built. So there you get to work on new features and whatever they are trying to introduce. But as a graphic designer, you won't get to work on the whole product at the product level, but you might have to design campaigns, all those marketing posters, and small illustrations that are there that you see on the screens. So that's the work of a graphic designer. But as a UI UX designer, you would get to wear a lot of hats to design the whole product.
Okay, okay. So what exactly does a UI UX designer do? And is it a career you enjoy?
Yeah. I am enjoying my work. So it's just been 2 months that I have joined this company. Before this, I was working as a developer, and I am totally enjoying this work right now. Uh, what does a product designer do? So, as I already mentioned, that any digital product you see, for example, Facebook, Instagram, Swiggy, Spotify, these are all digital products, right? So everything is planned and designed by a product designer.
Yeah.
And once the screens and everything are designed and the flow is decided, those screens are then handed off to developers and they just have to code and develop it.
You are a computer engineer. You did a software development job also. Then what makes you mind that you switch your career path and come to this UI and UX designing field?
Okay, interesting question. I so as soon as I started working as a developer, so firstly though I took this job. I was working in TCS as a backend developer. I took the job because I was really not sure if I was going to continue my career as an engineer or if I wanted to try some different things. So that was the reason I took up the job. And within 6 months, it was clear that I will not be able to work as a developer for my entire life because coding is not something that I enjoy,
Okay.
or I would work for a lifetime to earn money or anything. So after a year, I think during lockdown 2020, that was the best time. Actually, it gave me a lot of time to explore and try out new things. And from the beginning, I was always inclined towards creativity and trying to understand people's minds and psychology. So that's how I started exploring. I thought I would try graphic designing. I thought I would get into animation, but then somehow I found this UI UX design as a career. I did not know that there is a whole different career that you could make in product design. So that's how I explored and tried out different things. And once I found out about this, I started practicing, consuming content from online, and reached out to a few friends. So you might know Sarvesh from my
Yeah.
batch. So he was the first person I reached out when I found out that I'm interested in this, because I came to know that he was already learning on his own.
Mm,
So
mm.
I reached out to him, and then from there, my journey started. He helped me a lot to, as a beginner, what how I could learn and go with this process. And after that, I did a short course, a 3 month course. So nowadays, these cohort based courses are trending. So you have a 3 to 4 month course wherein there are industry designers and developers, and they mentor you
Yeah.
to build your portfolio and then apply for jobs. So in the past 1.5 year, I did all those things and finally got a job in January.
So this pandemic makes you think that what your passion is lies actually, correct?
Yes.
So is there any creative skills is required to be UI UX designer?
Not really. I mean, of course, you do need knowledge to design those screens. You do need to have a good eye of what color combinations look good, what type of typography styles look good. But then it's not necessary that you need to have those skills. Once you start practicing, I think anyone can be a designer.
So recently, this is UI UX designing and be a designer is trending, correct? So is it a good career option?
Good career option in terms of uh, money, or in terms of uh, you know like being successful?
In terms of both the things, in terms of money as well as being a successful.
Yeah, because in terms of money, the definitely yes. Also in terms of being successful, of course, because India is booming right now with a lot of startups that are coming up, and every startup has its own digital product. And as long as there are digital products, the companies would need product designers. Because product designing is the first step that happens when you're trying to build a product, or even if you're trying to add new features to your
Correct.
existing product. So
So you worked as a software developer in TCS, and now you are working as a UI UX designer, correct? So is there a pay difference between in that two career options, or the people can make
honestly,
a money here also in UI and UX designing also?
yeah, money you can definitely make. But honestly, ma'am, I think it's not, the pay difference does not come between the careers. It actually depends on what type of company you're working with. I mean, I was working in an MNC, so I realized that MNCs may, I don't think there's much growth that you would have, even for a developer. So I think startups are the best if you want to explore, if you want to have more responsibilities and try out new things. Startups, you can work with product based companies. Product based companies actually give you more opportunities than service based. So
Yeah.
that's where the pay difference comes. So I have developers in my there are developers in my company as well. They are earning a lot more than what people in MNCs do.
Yeah, that's true. So, what are the most important skills for the UI and UX designer to have?
Okay, so skills, I think problem solving is the first part that we do as a designer.
Hmm.
So you need to learn how to think. even if you don't have the skill, that's fine. I mean, even I started from scratch. I did not have any of the skills from from before. But as I started practicing, as I started communicating with the right people, approaching the mentors, knowing how they design, I started to learn how actually the industry works. So yeah, so I think as you start practicing, you'll learn how to think. So how to think is the most important skill, I would say, because you need to, every small decision that is being taken on in the product or on the screen, for example, even for a small button, the CTA that you call, uh, even that, lot of thinking goes behind where to place that button, what the size of that button should be. And yeah, so critical thinking is one part, and secondly, for designing the screens, of course, you need to develop the skills for having some creativity skills and having a good knowledge of colors and visuals.
Does a degree certificate is necessary to get a job in this field?
No, not at all. Even I did not pursue any degree or have any certification. Actually, for a designer, when you apply for jobs, they do not care from what college have you graduated from or what certification do you have. They just look at your portfolio. Your portfolio is the most important thing that you need to apply for jobs. So your design portfolio should consist of some good projects, some good personal projects. If you're a fresher, you can do some hypothetical projects. Or if you're experienced, your previous work that you did. So that is the only thing that matters, and how you perform in the interview, of course. Basically, you don't need any degree or certification in design specifically. um, I am an engineer, but then I don't think that matters a lot when you're applying for a design job, because here I'm considered as a fresher
Yeah.
for this role. So actually, I know a few people who have become UI UX designers right after 10th or right after passing their 12th exams.
Okay.
So for a design job, they do not care what kind of graduation you have. So yeah.
But definitely you need a creative mind. A logical
Yes.
thinking is important, correct?
Yes, you need to have that dedication that you'll do self learning. You'll learn on your own with the right set of people and with the right set of resources. With that, you can easily get a job.
Okay. So can you please suggest any online certification program or the resources available from that the people will get the input?
Okay, so the best resource is YouTube. Honestly, there are so many good, experienced, and popular designers. They have their own channels on YouTube. So if you want, I can send those links
Yeah.
later on. You can add that in the
Yeah,
description.
yeah.
There is YouTube. Then there are some beginners courses in Google. There's one course of Career Foundry. So those are just to introduce you to what UI UX is, just the theoretical part. But then the actual learning, I think the best platform is YouTube. You'll get all sorts of resources and content from there.
So it is a trending topic, or I can say it is a trending career option right now. But what is the present status of the UI and UX design industry in India?
Okay. I think UI UX got trending from the last 5 to 6 years. But honestly, when I was in college, I hadn't heard of it, that it is there as a separate whole career. Uh, Only when I started to explore the internet, I started talking with different people. I got to know that, it has such huge scope right now, because the main reason is because of the huge number of startups that are coming up, right? And uh, mainly product based companies, they need to have really beautiful and good experienced products, right? Because if you don't have a good experience, for example, if you're using Swiggy, and if you don't have a good experience while using it, if you don't like the UI, you'll immediately drop off. So that's the importance that a designer holds. So considering this, I don't think UI UX is going to go off track or going to go off scope nearly in any 10 to 20 years. And yeah, I think the future is Web3 right now. So most of the UI UX designers are learning and trying to convert into Web3 designers.
So is it difficult to get well-paying job compared to software engineers because you have both the experience now?
Yeah. uh, as I already said, if you are applying at MNCs, it is difficult to get a well-paid job, but you need to target good companies, that are product-based, or even if they are service-based, you need to target at good companies that have some importance for the product design role.
Yeah.
Because service-based companies like TCS and I don't want to take names, but those companies are they don't care how their product looks, because at the end of the day they just want to deliver their software to their clients.
Yeah.
So yeah, even in MNCs there are companies like Razorpay and stuff. They have the best designers and they pay like crazy. So you just have to target good companies. You have to research and target good companies. Then getting a good pay is really easy. It's not that difficult.
Okay. So what are the future career opportunities in UX and UI designing?
Yeah, so as I said, most of them are going for Web3 right now. So after UI UX, you can target or going to Web3, designing NFTs and cryptos and stuff. Or another way might be to become a product manager,
Yeah.
because as a product designer, you have that role of thinking about the product. You need to think about the product before designing anything for that product. So the next step might be to become a product manager, or there are people who act as consultants for big companies on how to manage and improve their user experience.
That was about to be my next question, like what is the next step of career for UI and UX designer? But you already covered in this answer that product manager and consultant is the another option or the next level of career in this UI UX designing. So which is better as a career, graphics designer or UI UX designer?
Better in terms of, if you want to wear different hats and have more responsibilities, then I think product designing would be a better option, because you would get to learn and think about the product as a whole and then design the screens. Whereas for graphic designing, the work is limited to a certain
Yeah,
area.
correct.
Yeah, you don't get to work on the main product directly,
Yeah.
but it's a choice. I mean, if you enjoy visual designing a lot, then you could do very well as a graphic designer also.
Yeah. So, Mansa, do you need to create any kind of design portfolio? And how did you build your own design portfolio? And can you give some tips to our viewers how to create a portfolio?
Yeah, so as I said, you need to have a really good portfolio to apply for this job. Even if you're a fresher and if you don't have any experience, any hypothetical uh, projects will do. So basically, in a portfolio, we have case studies. So a case study is nothing but a project wherein you document the whole journey of what you did in that project. How did you do it? What was your research, and how did you get to this? Basically, you're just solving a particular problem. Take up a problem. For I'll give my example. So in my portfolio, I had built a whole new app, not built but designed an app, a travel app. So it I built that app to solve a particular problem. So the problem was to help people who are going out for vacations or who are traveling, help them find their perfect destination, considering all the factors that they have in mind. So I found this problem statement and I did some research that there was no existing product or there are many big apps like Airbnb and stuff, but this specific problem was not being solved by any product. So I picked up this problem statement and designed an app for that. So I would suggest that explore all the apps or all the problems that the users are facing. If there are any existing apps, what are the problems that the users are facing, and can you solve it through product design? So I built my portfolio. So I was a part of this design community called 10K Designers. I'm still a part of it. So the head of this community is Abhinav Chikara. He started this design community.
Okay.
And he conducts this 3-month course twice every year. So last year Feb, I joined this course, and in this course of 3 months, there were a lot of mentors. As I said, there are a lot of experienced designers, industry designers, who have a lot of industry experience. So they help you with this whole process. You just have to approach them. All you need to do is have the right people around you. You need to talk, you need to take initiative. You can't expect that you'll sit and everyone will come and help you, because we did this in college may we have teachers, we have professors, they come and give us everything in hand. But then here you have to take your own initiative. You have to go and talk to people, approach people, learn how to talk to them, and then convince them that why should they help you. Because even though we paid money for that course, but then even after that, those mentors continued to help us. That's because we had built a good relationship with them. So you need to build relationships, build your network with good designers, show them that you have the skills. So that way, slowly they'll also help you. And if they have any openings in their own company, they'll approach you themselves. If they know that you are a good potential, you have good potential, and you're a good designer. So yeah, that's how you can build your portfolio.
Okay. So thank you, Mansa. This interview, this session is going to be more insightful for the people who wants to make their career in UI and UX design. So any message for your fellow students who wanted to build their career in UI and UX designing?
Uh, Message. Okay. I'll just say that just get started. Don't overthink. And the best solution is to keep trying and exploring new things. That's how you'll find your passion. That's how you'll find what you enjoy working. That's how I found mine. And if you're just getting started, if you want to get started in UI UX, there's hell lot of content on YouTube, online. That is enough. That is more than enough. Try to approach people on LinkedIn, approach people on Discord. There are lots of communities on Discord, open communities. You can join those communities, talk to those people, show them your interest, and ask them if they can mentor you. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you. Thank you once again for sparing your time. And thank you, viewers, for watching us.
Thank
Yeah, Mansa, can I share your LinkedIn ID in the description box?
Yeah, ma'am, definitely. I am ready to help anyone who wants any kind of help to get started with this career. I'm there. Text me anytime. I'll share all the links and resources that I used, and you can you can approach me anytime.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.